This subject is going to make you understand the need for organization behavior in organizations, which is becoming very, very critical today. We try to understand the human process and that of the structural interventions with the HRM and the strategic management coming into picture. So make it a point that you are not absent for the internals, you attend the internals, you write it well and score the entire 30 marks. Good morning and welcome to the introductory session on organizational behavior for third sem BBA, where we are going to discuss the syllabus and the outcomes of this particular subject called as organizational behavior. So let me just quickly move forward and let you know about the agenda today. The agenda is going to be on syllabus. We're going to talk about the learning outcome. We're going to talk about the modules or the units that are going to be there in the syllabus. And then we're going to talk about the internals altogether. And then finally, we're also going to talk about the exam pattern, which is very, very important for students to score good marks in the subject. Moving forward, let's start with the syllabus. So we have got 5 modules in the syllabus. The module 1 starts with organizational behavior and foundations of individual behavior, followed by the group and team dynamics. Number 3 would be on change management. Number 4 is organization development. And number 5 is the OD intervention. Now, when you look into the syllabus, the modules are 5, but all the 5 modules have been carefully chosen. It is something which is going to make you interesting in terms of learning the organizational behavior, and all these 5 units are very important both from the theory as well as from the knowledge standpoint. Now moving further, let's understand the learning outcome of this subject. Many of us would ask, what is so great about learning organization behavior, which is just a pure theory subject? But nevertheless, let's understand that this subject is going to make you understand the need for organization behavior in organizations, which is becoming very, very critical today. Point number 2, you will have the ability to understand how an individual and a group behavior exist in organization. Why? Because today when we are talking about hybrid work culture, we are talking about different aspects of working. All these functionalities are a must for you to know, to understand how we are taking it forward. Number 2 is that when we start talking about the effectiveness of organizational change, which is very, very common today, we are seeing that the work culture, the ethics, the dynamics are changing every day. So you need to understand how to go forward with the organization. Try to adapt yourself and take it forward. Definitely, that's one of the most important topics that we are going to discuss, followed by understanding the process of organizational development and OD intervention. So you're also going to understand in the later half that how organization behavior is going to shape the organization in the coming years. Followed by which you're also going to get into the unit 1. Let's get into the discussion of it. So what's going to be inside the syllabus, starting with the first one, the module 1. We're going to look into the meaning definition of organization behavior, followed by individual behavior, where the most important thing is the personality, the determinants of personality and the traits. And not to forget perception, which matters a lot today in the market. So all these things are the individual important aspects which is going to give you a bird's view in terms of the organizational behavior and the foundation level of understanding this subject. Followed by which group and team dynamics. Now these 2 words are very, very important today. We interchangeably use these words, groups and teams. But then what do they exactly mean when you are working in an organization? When you're working in a group, when you're working as a team, what are the dynamics that you share with your members? What are the different stages at which you understand your group, the behavior patterns, the achievement of goals? Everything is being discussed in this particular part of the syllabus. Followed by which change management. There cannot be anything more interesting than this topic called as change management. The reason is quite simple. Everybody wants to know the reason for change, and the reason also happens to be quite surprising. So the change management is something that incurs about the factor of planned change, unplanned changes, how do you overcome the resistance. All of these important factors have been spoken in this particular part of the syllabus. This is a very, very important and interesting chapter for all of us to learn and apply it to the modern system altogether. Followed by which, let's get to the organizational development. That's what we have been talking about, the need for OD today. One side, when we talk about behavior, we talk about ethics, rules and regulation. The other side, every employee understands and wants the organization to provide a space for his personal growth as well as his career growth altogether. So we will diagnose, we will understand what are the objectives at the group level, at the individual level, and at the top management level, how this particular functionalities work and how do they bring a system, a sea of changes altogether for the development of the organization. Followed by which, the intervention. Now, whenever I use the word intervention, it doesn't mean that we are getting into something like an investigation. Rather, it's just an introspection altogether. So what do we do as intervention here? We try to understand the human process and that of the structural interventions with the HRM and the strategic management coming into picture. So you would see a combination of HR, strategy, organization behavior, and a whole lot of business dynamics that gets combined together and puts into you on the top gear in terms of understanding how organizations can change, how organizations can remodule themselves as per the need of the modern day or the modern corporate wants. So let's going with that. We finish the end of the syllabus and we come towards the internals. Definitely internals has always been quite challenging and the most interesting part for the students also, because you have 30 marks coming here from the internals, plus you know the total internals is going to be worth of 40 marks, but then when you are coming to the written part of it, it is 30 marks. So what would be the syllabus for you for the first internals? The unit 1 and unit 2 would be covered for the first internals, unit 2, unit 3 and 4 would be for the second internals, and the unit 5 for the third internals. Now let us really worry about the first two internals here, because this is very, very important for us. The internal 1 and internal 2 will carry most of the syllabus. The first two being in internals 1 and the third and fourth coming up for the internals 2. So make it a point that you are not absent for the internals. You attend the internals, you write it well and score the entire 30 marks. This is a pure theory paper. The questions are going to be subject based, syllabus based. So if you spend your time, quality focus, try to understand and write well, you can definitely score your complete 30 marks. Followed by which, the question paper pattern, we are going to have 3 parts altogether. The part A, part B and part C. Part A is going to be for 30, part B 20 and the part C for 10 marks, which leads to a total of 60 marks. This is going to be a 2.5 hours paper as per the NEP. So I would request all of you who are preparing for this particular subject to pay quality time and focus into it so that you can score completely on this paper. Now OB is quite easy if you study and understand the concepts. So definitely this is a scoring paper. All you need to do is that understand the concept and you can write on your own. Followed by which, the books for reference which I would like to suggest is Fred Luthen's Stephen Robbins coming in, and John W. Newstrom and K. Ashwatthappa, which are available in the market. These are the books that are meant for the reference for you in terms of organizational behavior. Now, let's go to the chapter-wise marks allotment altogether. I'm not going to stick to this as a hard and fast rule, but let me just put you the emphasis that I'm like to bring upon on this particular units. From the unit 1 or the module 1, you'll have 25 marks. The same thing comes to the unit 2, 25 marks. So automatically, a student's mindset would start now working in this way. If I study only these 2 units, will I be able to pass? The answer is definitely yes. But then if you want to score a full 60 on 60. That means you also need to give importance for Unit 3, Unit 4 and Unit 5. Now, the first two units will be definitely important because there are a lot of fundamental questions that are coming in from the organization behavior. So take these two units seriously. That will help you a lot to score, followed by the 15 marks coming in the Unit 3, the Unit 4 where you'll have 15 marks and Unit 5 which you'll have 10 marks. So when you combine this entire thing together, you might see that the total is more than 60 marks, but this is only the weightage that we are talking about. With this, I come to the end of this particular session. I hope and believe that all the concepts and the syllabus and points which have been discussed through this particular session will be of great help and use to you. I wish and I understand that for all the students, this particular paper is going to be a very interesting paper. There's a lot of concepts to be learned and there are a whole lot of new ideas that can be applied back to tomorrow to the corporate world. I wish all the students a very best in terms of doing this paper and scoring the maximum marks in the coming examination. Thank you once again for joining me today on this wonderful session. You have a great day.